Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, September 25th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are the Knight of Cups in its reversal in combination with the Sun card. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going through the doldrums of the retrograde. You know, the one thing I will point out with this, what I want to point out that we were experiencing during this recent eclipse retrograde cycle was the incongruity of the energy that we were experiencing. There was an incongruous quality to the fact that we were entering the eclipse cycle with so many planets in retrograde. It was also somewhat incongruous in the fact that we were experiencing it during Virgo season. So potentially working through like a lot of the energy, that type of energy going through Virgo season is not ideal. I was describing it as rough as I felt it was for those with Pisces placements who are going through Pisces season this year, with all of those planets exiting Pisces during the same time as Pisces season. Perfect is not found. It's made. It's something that we create with our own hands. It's navigated by what we do. It's navigating with how we do things. And it's very typical when we come, and I was even saying this, I know everybody's always stressed out about the eclipse cycle proper, but I get very stressed out or concerned energetically right in the time after an eclipse, because it's a come down energy, right? It's like the lights go on. It's like things feel like it sometimes it's like navigating the shift out of eclipse back into kind of a normal energetic moment. But the hurdle about this one particularly, I keep on describing it like it's a little bit of like an elevator drop, because not only are we coming out of the eclipse cycle, but all that retrograde energy is still there. So it can do a number on us. So making sure that you're resting, making sure that you're prioritizing resting, care of self, make sure, and especially in the space of one's emotions. Because one of the things that we've been seeing a lot in relationality to this eclipse cycle has to do, it's been a continuing conversation upon the difference between the emotions, like how we effectively, and this has been happening for a while now, how we effectively honor our emotions. Honoring our emotions does not require us to be energetically nice about things. It doesn't require us to have to be put on like a sunny disposition about every single thing. And in fact, being able to articulate and speak upon our own energetic frustration in relationality to things is how we're able to move into more productive spaces and places. So I think that one of the things I keep on seeing that's happening right now, this is a lot of that granularity. Granularity has just been coming through over and over and over in these reads right now. And the reason we see so much of that granularity that's occurring right now across the frequencies, and particularly for the energy in separation, is working through, and I keep on seeing this, there is some energy in separation that is working through the observation of the difference between, I keep on hearing, being the difference between being hurt intentionally, right? The hurt that another puts upon us via their own deception, right? Like the overt deception outside of the self versus the internal deception, right? And what does it mean when we're experiencing that internal deception? It's the space by which we articulate that we desire something, but then we don't move in accordance to it, right? It's a lot of that work in terms of identifying how we're energetically standing in our own way. Now, none of us are inured to that occurring. That is something that can effectively happen in any context. But this is why we often talk about the fact that we do our shadow work a lot. Because again, understanding that shadow work isn't some like spooky, scary name. I know it sounds intimidating, but it's really just, it's understanding and working through one's own aversions. Because when we understand ourselves, then we move in accordance with our manifestation goals. We're in alignment to them. because often when we're not, we will say and say and say and say and say that we desire something, and then we will do absolutely nothing about it, right? It's like the space by which it's the space by which we often feel that the lack of shadow work makes us feel like we're effectively standing in quicksand. So, I keep on seeing, and this is really important, because when I talked about the fact that we see at least 3 different tiers right now for energy and separation, I feel like this is a big topic of conversation. Now, for the energy, right, and I keep on seeing this, for the energy that's restoring right now in separation, I can almost hear the energy say, I could not see how I was standing in my own way, right? I identify that I do see like a small portion of energy right now coming into restoration. And this is the quality of that restoration. There's no letting anything go. These are not relationships of coming back together and just letting something go. It's the understanding. I keep on hearing, like, it's the understanding of someone saying, like, that was energetically uncalled for, or that is something that wouldn't necessarily feel or be something that would feel effectively productive. So for a lot of the energy right now, that ability to articulate upon that, there's energy taking accountability for past version of self, where an individual brought an overproportionality to something that was minor or non-important, that is allowing something to be able to be healed. But you have to understand that even in the context of that, there's a lot of potential trepidation that's occurring, because it's easy to articulate something versus being able to move in accordance to it. What time cannot heal are situations and circumstances wherein something feels energetically difficult, right? We work through keep on hearing, we work through the energetic violation of a standard that feels like, that caused us to have a lot of feelings around it. And this is why, if there's energy trying to come back towards another and mollify in the midst of that energy, instead of having a conversation, this could be the fundamental closure of those energetic cycles. It's just a lot of that space. I just keep on seeing and I feel like the thing about it is, for a lot of those relationships, I just see the energy that's just like, and I keep on hearing, like, it's devastating. And I feel like there's like almost like a devastation point there, right? Like, I keep on hearing the energy is saying they're devastated. But I need to point out, like, the devastation that they're articulating, I keep on hearing the fact that they're saying that they're devastated almost speaks to the fact that they've accepted, like they've effectively accepted it. Because I keep on hearing, like, the space. I keep on hearing, like, the fact that I keep on hearing, even in the fact that they're saying that they're devastated, they're letting it go, because they're talking about it to others, right? They're expressing, I keep on hearing, like, they're expressing their energetic disappointment, as it were. So there's something there that's important, because I keep on hearing I keep on hearing it's devastating, but it's cathartic, right? It's working through the understanding of what one was hoping to see, and then immediately feeling the energetic relief in relationality to it. It's just like, I keep on seeing, like, and I need to describe this. It's not, I keep on hearing, for some of the energy and separation, it wasn't the fact that they were waiting for something, but they were holding on hope, right? There's a difference between waiting versus being hopeful that something could reach a better point of effective healing. Now, for the energy that is deep within divine union, what we're effectively, like, they're not the energy, and it's funny that I said the energy deep within divine union, because the thing about the energy and separation right now is that's building into partnership. The reason I was saying that they're deep within divine union is because they're utilizing their understanding of the work of what it feels like to be in divine union as a template for those relationships. There's a lot of trepidation. I can see that the energy is moving towards each other very slowly, because they're holding themselves in high reverence. And the reason they're holding themselves in high reverence is because they are healing. They are healing from experiences wherein potentially another person articulated that they desired something, but they weren't necessarily moving in accordance to it. And so that's why I keep on seeing that there's like, it's like the trepidation that's there, but it's a trepidation not in the fact that they don't want something, but they're trying to ascertain and make sure that the energy that they're moving towards isn't in the same modality, right? They're not in the same modality by which they're working to heal something. They're not in the space by which they're recognizing or identifying something that they're working to do in a different way, and thereby allowing the space to which they are able to like effectively are like talk to, and I keep on hearing like they're exploring each other's books, but the reason they're exploring each other's books, as it were, is because it's like they're getting granular. They're hearing what they say that they desire, but then they're getting granular in terms of how they move or what they do to see if something they're doing is in accordance with what they say that that they're moving towards. Now, moving into those temperance relationships, so these are specifically for our purposes, the relationships that were coming together between the time that Uranus was in retrograde up until the space of the space of the solstice. Yeah, we like that. We like it. We like a 10 of swords in its reversal. This is I'm finally ready to tell you kind of energy. I'm finally ready to share something with you. And I keep on hearing that you have to understand when I keep on saying they're finally ready to share. The reason they're saying that they're finally ready to share, it's not the fact that they were withholding. Okay, there's a difference here. We are going through Uranus in Gemini, so there's going to be a lot of clarification in terms of the difference between things. The difference between withholding and being, I keep on hearing, and being prudent is what I keep on seeing. These are temperance relationships. They were being prudent as it relates to speaking upon their trauma, because I keep on hearing a trauma that they put away is not something that they want to bring up every day. And I keep on hearing like that, and I keep on getting to, it's not the fact that trauma, they're trauma informed, but they're not trauma centered, right? And what does it mean when one is trauma informed? They've done the work to unpack the trauma. They've gone through it, and now they're trying to move like I keep wondering that they've gone through it so they can move beyond it. They carry it with them, but they don't effectively center it. And that's why I keep on seeing it's like a lot of that work in terms of articulating on the trauma was building into, this is why I was calling it a solar plexus awakening, because a solar plexus awakening can often be like, I'm finally ready to tell you, right? I'm finally ready to tell you that there's something like that there's like the heavy details as it were to something that effectively happened behind them. And I keep on seeing that was a moment that the reason that they hadn't shared that so much is because they didn't want to burden each other with their trauma. So there's a lot of that. I keep on seeing there's a lot of that unpacking there. But it feels like, I keep on hearing it's like the energy that says, I'm finally ready to tell you, and I'm glad I got that off my chest, because it's the space by which another person is able to articulate like the full intensity of something that happened to them that's building into the space of trust between them. This brings us into the energy that is deep within divine union right now. And for the purposes of our reading today, those are those magician partnerships that were coming together from between the solstice period up until the time of Mercury and Venus stationing direct behind Neptune. Woo! We got a Tower card in its reversal and yeah, this makes sense. And a 5 of Wands in its upright. Remember? Yeah, like, so what we're effectively seeing here is this is the problem. It's giving me they see a problem they can't touch. They see a problem they can't touch. It's Saturn's problem, right? And when you see Saturn's problem, you can't touch Saturn's problems. You touch Saturn's problems, you make them worse. If you touch Saturn's problems, Saturn might not be able to fix them. Is what I keep on saying. They're going through this and they're articulating because they remember, right? I keep on hearing the space. They've never centered like this before. They've never been in a relationship that they've centered, and they're seeing the orbit around the partnership change in the wake of the centering. And they're going through the moment of seeing potentially energy that's in their fields in a space, but they shouldn't be in their fields. And so when you go through those moments, like, what are you going to do? Like, the energy is not looking at each other and saying, like, let's get out of partnership. Like, that would be absurd. And so that's why they're saying to one another, they're working through a maturation cycle, which is potentially something that and this is why we talk about maturation cycles or working through Saturn's lessons, because Saturn's lessons are look, but don't touch. No touchy touchy, no touchy touchy. And why is it no touchy touchy? Because if someone is going through their emotions, if they're deep in their feels, if there's a moment of celebration you're having, and somebody else is going through the motions of devastation, putting your hands all over it isn't going to make the devastation go away. It might make it worse. So I see a lot of that energy that's potentially having to make that hard choice, giving space to something, right? Giving space and healing their relationship with Saturn in the process, being like, yo, can you handle that? Can you handle that, please? Right? And that's the hope that I keep on hearing. Like it's the hope that says I need to stay away, but perhaps the day will come that that's not necessarily something that needs to occur, right? It's like a lot of that space or that force of patience. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Cups and its reversal in combination with our Sun card and its upright, back to the energy and separation. Woo la la! What is going on in separation? This is nice. This is having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. Where's Venus right now? What's going on with Venus? I need to check something. I feel like something's happening with Venus right now. Okay, so, and I think that one of the things I'm seeing is it's feeling very mysterious in here, is what I'm getting. And I feel like the reason, like one of the things I think that we're seeing here has to do, I'm just checking something because I'm trying to get a sense of, oh yeah. Mercury is gonna be in Scorpio soon. Okay. So, one of the things I think is happening, it's catharsis. Okay. So one of the things that's happening right now is, and I want to describe this, these new relationships that are starting right now are kind of starting in the heart of catharsis. And what do we mean by starting in the heart of catharsis? They're starting in the heart of catharsis because it's a very, very heavy lesson. It's a very heavy lesson to work through for some of the energy that is in separation right now, working through the lesson that sometimes another person does not have any intention of hurting you, but the danger by which they can hurt you is the space by which they don't know themselves. That's a heavy lesson. I can't overly stress what kind of, like, it's an existential lesson, right? It requires the observation of seeing the true devastation point of not doing one's shadow work effectively. And the problem is you can't look at someone and be like, how much shadow work have you done? You know what I mean? Maybe we can someday, but like, it's not something that you can immediately identify and recognize. And so, like, it's like, I feel like that's what I mean in terms of these relationships. They're sussing each other out. And the reason, and I feel like there's a little bit of like there's a little, and it's that Mars energy. It's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of this tension in these relationships. There's a little bit of this, like, I mean, you guys aren't seeing it in the podcast. I'm jerking my shoulders a little bit. There's a little bit of this, try me energy, but I need to stress this when it's almost giving me but here's the thing about it. And this is what I mean about these moon partnerships that are starting right now, which is it's giving me like a little bit of this, like the shoulder jerk of recognition. But then there's also the recognition, but then also the comprehension of understanding, and I feel like that's the thing that's interesting about it is the energy is wary, but hopeful. And they're asking each other the right energetic questions to be able to ascertain and determine. I keep on hearing the difference between comprehension and understanding, right? That's what I keep on seeing that is happening right now. Like it's like this is like the fundament, like this is what's happening in those relationships. The difference between hearing something and knowing something, like the difference between being able to like I keep on hearing like pick up, like the difference between like being able to pick up jargon versus the ability to effectively understand, like the ability to understand what something means, or the full like enormity of like a manifestation goal. So that's what I keep on seeing is happening right now with a lot of these new relationships. They're wary but hopeful, and there's almost like a little bit of a playful quality to it. There's almost like a little bit of this playful quality in terms of like in terms of the space by which they're moving, like they're moving towards each other with a little bit of that vibration of anticipation. Now, for the energy right now and for the energy and for the energy that's in separation right now, this is also why, like I'm getting here, and for the energy that's working towards restoration, and I keep on seeing it's a very small portion of energy and separation working on restoration right now. And I need to stress this. I keep on seeing that's what I mean about this being a period of catharsis and contemplation, because it's not a period of activation. Because I keep on hearing some of these energies right now in separation have received true apologies. And what do we mean by a true apology? A true apology has no strings attached to it. That's what's so beautiful about some of these apologies that I'm seeing right now. Like a true apology doesn't have any strings attached to it. It almost is the energy that I see another saying to another person, I need you to know, like I need you to know that I have changed, or I need you to know that something has occurred. And I keep on hearing like there's something like that like it almost feels like some kind of period of rest right now as that moment of contemplation occurs. Now this brings us to the energy, to the temperance relationships, clarification between our Sun card and that Ten of Swords and its upright. I got, oh, another 10. Ooh. Another 10. 10 of Wands in its reversal. I like this. I mean, listen, beyond the five of, like, we'll talk about that 5 of Wands off in the corner, but the center cards here, we got double tens in the center, both the tens we want in the reversal. We got the Tower card in its reversal. It's like this is the energy of getting back to normal. But I know I need to stress it's like not normal though, because Pluto. I mean, it's not normal, but it's like it's. I want to say like the thing I keep on seeing in relationality to something here is, and that's what I meant about these temperance relationships, is I keep on hearing I'm finally ready to tell you, is about that normalcy. You know what I mean? That I'm finally ready to tell you is the space by which the energy is articulating. I keep on hearing they're divulging to each other more about themselves, almost as a gift to tell each other how much they mean to one another, right? And I keep on saying, like, I keep on seeing that it's hard, because I almost see the energy being like, and I keep on, and this is what I mean, and this is what I mean about Uranus and Gemini. This is not, I need to stress this. You have to be clear about this. This is not energy that was trying to be deceptive. You understand what I'm saying here? This is not energy that was not telling someone something important. It's energy that was glossing over the details of how bad something was, to be able to spare each other the pain. And so in the journey of coming together, that pain was not energetically centered in the space of getting to know one another. So that's why I keep on seeing that. I keep on saying it felt like a solar plexus awakening, because it's the energy that's it's like it would rather it's like it's not something that they like to talk about, but they're doing so because they feel the other should know how they feel, is what I keep on seeing. While for the energy that is deep within divine union, these magician partnerships are cracking me up here. I got 2 cards coming out. I'm sorry, I started laughing because I said that, and as soon as I did, the magician card in its reversal popped up. We got the magician card in its reversal with the eight of cups in its reversal, because they're tearing their hair out. This is driving them nuts. They're going through deja vu in the highest degree. They're going, I can't believe this is happening. And the reason they're saying the reason they can't believe it's happening is because they remember when they're like, ah, crap. They're now going through the double force. They're going through the double force of moving deeper into divine union, and they're having a Saturn return moment. Like they're moving into divine union and they're having a Saturn return. And it's like, and it's creating a lot of that feeling of energetic frustration, because it's really aggravating when you see something and it's like, see something, can't say something. It's see something, can't say something. It's seeing something happening before them in partnership, and potentially talking about the fact that it's happening. They're talking very clearly to each other about the fact that it's occurring. And they're repeating to each other the same lesson, the same message, which you can't touch Saturn's lessons. You can't touch Saturn's, no touchy, no touchy. You touch it, it's gonna get worse. Don't touch it. It's gonna, nope. You're just gonna, ooh, now it's not gonna heal, right? It's a lot of that type of energy there. It's a lot of that type of energy, and the recognition or understanding. Like, I keep on seeing, if somebody's caught all up in their feels, I keep on hearing, if someone navigates celebration, with and you see them like brooding on it or ruminating, like they're like, we can't, like, can't touch that, can't touch it, can't touch it. And they remember, but here's the thing, they also remember the time that they're recounting to each other experiences where they remember feeling that way. Welcome to Wisdom Land, population 2. You know what I mean? Like, it's like continuing, and I can see it's just like, but they're frustrated about it. This is why, like, wisdom's frustrating. You know, like when we say with wisdom, you're gonna know, but you're gonna be really mad about it. Continuing to get clarification between our Tower card and its reversal, in combination with our Five of Wands and its upright. We've got here, oh, look at this. This is important. We got some important cards here. So we've got here we've got our Knight of Pentacles. We've got our Knight of Pentacles and it's upright. We like to see a Knight of Pentacles and it's upright. And the thing with the Knight of Pentacles and it's upright is we had the Knight of Pentacles. It wasn't yesterday, but it was the day before. It was our Pinnacle card. It was the Pinnacle. And I like, and the Knight of Pentacles here, we like to see this because this to me is the Libra energy coming in, which is like focusing on the practical, right? The practical concern. And honestly, like I keep on seeing, like, for a lot of the energy that is like, and this is moving through the frequencies right now. It's funny because I keep on hearing, like, it's not about getting back to normal. It's just getting back to whatever this is. Is what I keep on hearing. Getting back to whatever this is. But there's something important about that, right? Because, and that is a Pluto retrograde for you, right? Like, the Pluto retrograde is not getting back to normal. It's just like getting back to weird. Like, back to our normal weird instead of our weird. Just like a little bit of normal weird. So we've got a little bit of that energy right now, which is just like, I feel like there's something there's something very important. It's not disassociative, it's calibrating, right? It's allowing for a little bit of that energetic calibration. And so for a lot of the energy right now that is kind of like working through that, it's just allowing the space by which one is moving in terms of trying to do something. I keep on seeing like trying to be energetically consistent. And I like this because I feel like I'm seeing, like, it's very much about the same messages that I was saying before with energy like this, which is like, when things feel confusing, remember who you are, right? Like, center, like you don't, like, when energy around you is being weird, be you, right? Like, that's often how we navigate energetic weirdness. We just kind of allow it to effectively not affect our own energetic center. So I almost feel like there's a lot of energy right now that is working through the centering of the self. And I keep on hearing it's not selfish to center the self, okay? The difference between, I need to stress this right now, because again, Uranus and Gemini, we are going to go through a lot of these type of things. Self-centered is only thinking from the purpose of the self. Self-centered is the space by which we experience things, and we're not effectively energetically taking consideration in those around us. Centering in the self, right, is navigating a choice and not being affected by the energy outside the self, but allowing the clarity of insight within to guide the energetic actions without. So I keep on hearing centered in the self, not self-centered. So there's something like there's something very important that I see in relationality to that type of work right now. And that's a kind of a, like, I got to stress, that's a bit of a gift that Libra brings. That I told you there was a massive shift that we experienced coming out of this eclipse cycle. A lot of things happened all at once. Like, and it's funny. I typically don't say like, look, the planet, like things don't happen and like a switch hits, but there was a little bit of like a switch hits that happened coming out of this eclipse cycle, because a couple days before the eclipse cycle, Mercury moved into Libra, right? Eclipse cycle ends. Eclipse cycle ends, new moon, solar eclipse, and then Libra season. So like, I gotta stress, typically planets don't, it's not like hitting a switch. But if there was, that would feel very much like a switch is hit, right? And so I feel like there's a bit of that type of energy there in relationality to working on just being energetically consistent. Now, like, and this is how it's having a different impact on masculine and feminine energy. You know, feminine energy, I'm just going to show you this, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. We've got feminine energy that is not, I keep on hearing, niceness has nothing to do with it. You know, like I feel like there's inner child healing that's happening right now in this type of energy. When we have catharsis as inner child healing, and effectively, catharsis, like inner child healing for the feminine is you don't have to be nice about everything, right? Like it's the space. I keep on hearing it's the space. Like I keep on hearing, honesty shouldn't trump niceness. Is what I keep on hearing. Right? Like honesty shouldn't trump niceness, which is the space by which you understand that I keep on hearing, if it feels like you have to be nice instead of being true, that's not nice, is what I keep on getting. You know, it's the space by which we articulate upon, and I feel like this is important too, because this is a lot of the feminine energy that's healing, and the recognition that hard conversations are gifts that we give to each other, right? Like the gifts that we give to one another. And I keep on hearing, you don't have to have like a mean, hard conversation, right? Like you don't have to have like a mean, hard conversation, but it's like, it's the space by which we navigate hard things. Like we navigate hard things. When we navigate hard things, we build fabric, right? Because it's the space by which we say, like, look, like this is the energetic standard. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is what we're trying to do, right? It allows for a lot of that. I keep on hearing, like, it's the niceness, it's the hardness that speaks towards energetic fortitude. And so I feel like there's something important about that, because I keep on seeing that as it's funny. I said fabric, and then I was about to say feminine, and I said feminine, but it has to do with hemming, right? And this is often what happens when we're being nice. When we're being too nice, we hem, right? We're like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't want to come off too strongly. This is feminine being like, my tea, hello, I'm strong tea. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry. No, it's I know it's not weak tea. This tea is not for the weak. This tea is not for the weak. And there's something important about that because I keep on hearing it's not mean, it's hard tea, which is to say it's saying it is not mean to be very energetically direct with someone. And this is what I feel like the feminine is working to heal right now. Masculine, and this is good. We like to see this right now because it means that masculine and feminine are working on complementary path work. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine is looking and saying, I protect feminine strong tea. Is what I keep on seeing. This is beautiful. This is what we talk about with counterpart energy, right? Right? We got feminine, right? We got feminine with hard tea, and we got masculine being like, I protect feminine. I like feminine's hard tea. I also protect feminine's hard tea, right? Because that's the masculine that understands when masculine doesn't take things personally. That's how masculine protects feminine strong tea, right? The stable masculine isn't afraid of strong tea. They can drink it. So we've got a little bit of this energy here. Continuing to get clarification between our Empress card in combination with our Ten of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Yeah, we've got, there it is. Look at that. We've got the Devil card. And this is what I see that is effectively helping feminine heal, right? This is feminine working through the observation that often when we're being sweet as pie to each other, we're not doing each other any favors. You know, there's a falsity, right? There's a like I keep on hearing the difference between sweet and saccharine is the intentional kindness that we bring to one another. So this is why I keep on seeing that for like a lot of the energy in separation, I feel like this is hard because, you know, I almost feel like there's some energy in separation where someone's trying to come back to them and someone's trying to say, why are you being so mean? And somebody else is saying, I'm not being mean. I'm finally being honest. Right? And this is, remember when I talked about the space by which there's some energy right now that is healing in separation, in relationality to self-deception. If there is the observation that is occurring where someone is trying to come back towards someone and the other energy is being authentic about their feelings, and another person then says, why are you being mean? And energy says, I'm not being mean. I'm finally being honest. Right? I told you, karmic healing. Karmic healing does not necessarily mean observing what's wrong with another person. You karmically heal when you recognize something that's wrong with the self. When you recognize that there's something that you were doing that was not in the best, like the best direction for you. And that's why I keep on seeing that for some of this energy, like I keep on hearing it's like the energy that hears themselves say that. I'm not being mean. I'm finally being honest. Like I keep on hearing it's like it's like it's just like that is the moment where there's potentially the observation, right? I told you these are moon relationships that are coming together right now. So the observation of something that you might not necessarily have realized that you yourself was doing that was causing an energetic friction point in a relationship. So that could be happening a bit too right now for some of those energies that are working through conflict in separation, right? The conversation as to what it means, that the conversation as it relates to the difference between honesty and niceness. This brings us to the energy that and for a lot of these and the thing, and remember and this makes a lot of sense because remember how I said that I see those relationships coming together. They're not being nice. I told you. I keep on, you guys can't see it in the podcast. I keep jerking my shoulders a little bit. there's a little bit of this like try me energy in the start of these relationships. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is what we can expect with so many of these planets in retrograde right now. Like that somewhat standoffishness is not, I keep on hearing, it's not the meanness, right? It's the seeking of honesty. They're being standoffish to each other because they're sussing each other out for honesty. They're working on the wounds of potentially another person articulating that they wanted something only to find that they weren't moving in accordance to it. So for a lot of the energy right now, I keep on hearing it's like, it's like they've got their guard up. But I told you, like, look, I told you, every card is important with the cards next to it. A healthy ego is one that is reasonable. It protects the self. So there's something about that there where it feels it's wary for a reason, right? Continuing to get clarification. It's like wary until otherwise proven not. Continuing to get clarification for these temperance relationships between our Ten of Wands, our Magician in its reversal, and our Eight of Cups in its reversal. One card to clarify. Ooh, Star card in its reversal. Star card in its reversal is, and I need to point this out. The energy that we're currently going through right now doesn't make us feel great. Overall, I told you, there's like a bit of a cranky energy to it. It's cranky. It was cranky energy before we entered the eclipse. We come out of the eclipse, it's back to being cranky because I'm going to go through the litany of grievances that we've got in this astrology right now. Okay, we got Uranus in retrograde. We got Neptune in retrograde. We got Saturn in retrograde. And the thing about it is, and then Jupiter, and we don't talk about enough about this. Jupiter is in Cancer. And by itself, and Jupiter in Cancer can create a lot of lonesome feelings. It can create a lot of like contemplation kind of energy. So, I feel like it sometimes feels like the energy of disadvantage, as it were, right? Like feeling like going through something and feeling the energetic frustration that something isn't ideal, right? But again, it's more of the continuation of understanding that perfection is not something that we find, right? We don't look for it on this is a carryover to some of that energy that we just came out of in Virgo season, which is like perfection is not something that we chart on a map. It's something that we create, right? We don't go looking around being like, when's the perfection going to show up? Where's the perfection? We are the perfection, right? Like when we stop waiting for perfection to show up, we make the best of it. We do the things we can. We make the perfection. So we perfect things. So I feel like that's a little bit of the work that we see that's happening right now. And it has to do with the fact is like we just went through, like, I'm not surprised to see the fact that we just went through an eclipse cycle with in Virgo season. And what was the big issue? Ooh, the perfection is coming. The perfection is coming. The perfection. Why didn't the perfection come? What? I don't understand. We're all just sitting here waiting for the perfection to come. Where could the perfection be? Come on, guys. It's within us. It's within us to create. It's what we bring forth. All right. The perfection does not rain down. It comes with it's something that we share between ourselves. So I feel like there's something important in relationality to that because it's working through the lessons of Virgo season. It's understanding the perfection that we make is often feels like that's a hard part, right? Often the joke about it is like often when you're making perfection, you look at something and you're like, this is terrible. And everyone's like, this is wonderful because nothing matches your own energetic vision, right? It's like, no, the vision makes everything we do look terrible, even though it's wonderful. Continuing to get clarification on this between our Magician card our Eight of Cups in its reversal, and our Knight of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify, please. We've got the Hierophant in its upright. These are man, like when you, if you're following the podcast, go take a peek at today's spread, man, because this third tier is a doozy. It's a doozy. Especially with the Devil card in its upright and the Star card in its reversal. But the thing I need to point out right now, and I think that this is important across all of the frequencies, is, and this is again something that is kind of helpful when it comes to Libra energy, is working on and recognizing the balance, like the balance that we're able to create that allows us to effectively be able to articulate upon what our manifestation goals are. And the one thing I like about this type of energy is I keep on hearing, like, hope exists in the manifestation goal. Like, hope exists in the space by which we have the manifestation goal. Because often I keep on seeing that, in the midst, of, and this is what I mean about the doldrums of the eclipse. In the doldrums of the eclipse, we can coming out of an eclipse or the retrograde season, it's the always patient, never waiting as it relates to working on a manifestation goal, which is the space by which you don't just sit somewhere and wait for something to occur. You do the things that will expedite something coming towards you. So I feel like that's a little bit of the easement point that we're potentially experiencing as it relates to this, as it relates to the eclipse season, kind of like moving back, like moving away from us. Because I wouldn't be surprised if you were trying to do things like during that eclipse process and it felt like you were taking on like Sisyphus endeavors, okay? That's very funny because, okay, never mind. All right, so, but yeah, it can feel it like the energy of the retrograde eclipse that we're experiencing. It could feel a lot like Sisyphus, because it's like the identification point of trying to roll something up a hill and feeling like it's falling back on you at every moment. Because we had the eclipse, right? You had the eclipse. It's like trying to like do that uplift. It's like trying to raise something, but like you've got the retrograde that pulls it back down on you. So it's like it was requiring a lot of energetic heavy lifting, which is why I keep on saying ease into things right now. Don't put as much force on things as you were putting on them a few days ago. Delicate, because it's like it's giving me like scale energy, right? Like when you put too much pressure on something because like you think that you need it, and then the whole thing, it's that type of thing. When I said like a switch hit, like be more delicate in relationality to how you're navigating things, because I know like that's a problem with like having gone through that eclipse retrograde, is like everything was requiring effort. And it's like now it's like, whoo, and now it's just like now it's sliding through a lot more easily. So it's like not pushing so hard on things is what I keep on getting. Gentle approaches as a lot of energy kind of moves out of this cycle that feels like it was doing a real energetic number on the self. So just I keep on hearing, holding that state of compassion for the self and for those around the self. Continuing to get back into the partnership dynamics between our Devil card and its upright and our Star card. This is the only thing I'm a little bit conscientious about, because I do see, the thing I keep on seeing right now has to do, you remember how I said a few days ago, masculine and feminine were more in alignment? This is not a great alignment day for masculine and feminine, is what I'm seeing. Because, and here's the thing about it. It's just because I've got here the Empress card for feminine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. And the Knight of Pentacles for masculine. And so the hurdle with that may have to do with what masculine and feminine are focusing on prioritizing right now. Feminine, I see like feminine is like feminine. This is creative energy for feminine right now, right? There's a lot of creativity here around feminine. Masculine's more in a practicality space. Now that I do see the fact that they're both kind of working in the same way in that fashion, but I keep on seeing the this is what I mean in relationality to some of these cards right now. They're not necessarily out of alignment, but I almost feel like some of the cards that I'm seeing around feminine right now feel like there's more pressure on feminine right now than there is on masculine. And the reason and that sometimes, and I keep on saying sometimes, right? This is sometimes when we see pressurization points that potentially happen in partnership, it can sometimes create like imbalance feelings, because I keep on seeing that for a lot of the feminine, like doing that work, like I keep on hearing, if you feel pressure, make sure that you're not projecting it out onto those around the self, right? We don't project our pressure. We move through it. We don't react to it. While for masculine, I feel like this is like, I feel like there's something important about masculine, like getting like, and it's funny because I think yesterday I said I saw a lot of people getting things off the to-do list. I feel like I see masculine like more taking, like this almost feels like more of an energy of like easement and taking things like just getting things done, like knocking things off a checklist. So the reason I keep on seeing about, I'm stressing this for the energy deep within divine union. Before, I keep on hearing, before you approach each other with a problem, check in about each other's bandwidth, is what I keep on seeing. Because there's something about the cards I'm identifying here that would articulate the fact that feminine is like, especially like is feminine's tackling a lot of like feeling a lot more pressure right now. And masculine is it's not that they're not feeling energetic pressure, but it feels more, I feel like it's almost, I almost see like a masculine energy navigating others' issues right now, is what I keep on seeing. It's not even the fact that it's not even masculine's, like I keep on hearing masculine's having orbital issues, which is the space by which it's not necessarily the masculine, but like having a little bit of that, like what's gotten into everybody kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like the energy, like navigating out. And it's probably the energy that was not like, I told you not to do anything, don't do anything foolish during the eclipse cycle. I feel like masculine is like navigating some kind of, I've got like kind of a cleanup energy around masculine in some way. All right. Continuing to get clarification between our star card and its reversal and our Hierophant. Ooh, we got a four of wands in its reversal. I gotta stress this right now. You know, the thing that we're seeing, and this is going to keep on happening right now until Neptune and Saturn are out of this silly little retrograde that they've got together. You know, we've got Neptune, and we've got Saturn, both in retrograde. And we've got them chilling out on the meridian between Pisces and Aries. And that can create a little like, it's like scheduling issues. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of that type of energy, like things going fast, things going slow. It's doing a number on our ability to like navigate or hold time in our head, is what I keep on getting. So just be conscientious about that, is what I keep on seeing, because I feel like there's something very significant and important in relationality to the space by which we don't get too hard on ourselves about that. And I keep on saying, remember, if you're experiencing that, don't feel like it's intentional, is what I keep on seeing. And that's the problem. I need to point out, this is something that I keep on seeing in this retrograde energy, especially given the fact that Chiron is an Eris, which is like working through like scheduling kerfuffles that feel intentional or feel like they're directed towards the self, right? Just allowing, like I keep on hearing, like allowing that easement of understanding that everybody is experiencing. Like everybody is experiencing this. And so that way we don't get, I keep on hearing, and that way we don't get twisted up about it. We try to do what we can to help alleviate it for one another, is what I keep on seeing, right? It's like, I keep on hearing, it's like, it's like it's working a lot through that right now. Final card for today's spread, between our Page of Cups in its reversal and our Four of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Swords in its reversal. So one of the things that we're effectively working through right now that I'm seeing has to do, I just keep on saying, it has to do with the space by which we identify. The one thing I want to articulate about this, retrograde cycle, and I'm going to keep on bringing this up. The retrograde cycle itself can create a lot of feelings of weariness, because it's not, if you were to say to me which planet is in retrograde that's causing me to feel this way right now, I'd say which planet is not, right? There's a lot of things in retrograde right now. And the retrograde, I like to describe it like this is a retrograde that spooled up, right? It didn't happen all at once. There were a bunch of planets that all went into retrograde at different times. It's going to unspool just as slowly as it spooled up. So making sure, not overly internalizing a lot of this energy right now, taking the time to the self to be effectively able to be restorative. The one thing you want to avoid, and I keep on hearing, the things you want to avoid are doing things right now, out of a sense of anger or out of a sense of frustration. And I need to point this out because there's something important in relationality to this. It is not the fact, and it has to do, right? It has to do with understanding the space by which we articulate our anger that allows something energetically productive to occur through it, right? Versus the feeling of taking it out on someone. That is effectively what I want you to be conscientious about. Making sure that you're not taking out. This is often when we're projecting, that's what we're effectively doing. We're taking something out on someone, right? We try to move that into the space of focusing our frustration on a particular, in a particular direction. Now, for a lot of the energy doing that work right now, I want to say the heaviness of sometimes coming out of these eclipse cycles can feel worse than being within them. So being able to understand that if there's something that you're working on doing right now, it's okay to do it. I'm not somebody that says don't do anything during an eclipse. I say as long as you've had intention on doing something, go for it. But what you want to avoid is, and I keep on hearing, the opportunity, right? Opportunity is leaping towards something that feels like it's in alignment in the space by which we do something that feels like it's sublime, right? It's like sublime moments. The space by which we, how do I describe this best? The space by which we are energetically reactive, right? Where we just feel, and again, I keep on hearing where we feel we become reactive as it relates. I keep on hearing don't get reactive, and it has to do with the fact that we were talking through Saturn's lessons as it was. This is all coming through again through Saturn, which is the space by saying that we don't touch Saturn's lessons, which is the space by which we understand that sometimes issues, I keep on hearing sometimes issues related to time can't energetically be helped. So that ability of kind of working towards productivity or articulating upon it or trying to do what one can to resolve it. I keep on hearing don't take time personally, which is the space by which you don't get angry in relationality to time, but you kind of work to resolve the fact that given the fact, I keep on hearing given the fact that we've got Saturn and Neptune, like given the fact we've got Neptune and Saturn in such close proximity in retrograde, it's creating, I keep on hearing, it's like it's creating this like this compression point in relationality to like to things getting done and things like there's not enough. I keep wondering, it's like there's not enough room between the starting, like this, like the start point and the end point, right? Like that's what we're often seeing when we see like we see those planets in such like tiny, like in such close proximity, right? So I keep on hearing like, don't get frustrated, get focused, right? Don't get angry, get ardent, like get into the space by which, like, I keep on hearing instead of like, I keep on hearing like, instead of like punching walls, like leaping at opportunities is what I keep on getting. Bottom of the deck. Yeah. The Lover's card, right? Ideal. Like I keep on seeing like ideal isn't energetically made. It's effectively found is all I keep on seeing. And there's something important in relationality to that as it relates to, how do I describe this? It's having an effect across all of the energy in union right now, or moving towards union, in different ways. And it has to do, I keep on hearing, it has to do with granularity. For the energy in separation, it's more of the same observation that we were effectively seeing in relationality to trying to be like working on productivity. It's something about, I keep on saying it has to do with the space by which we're able to communicate to each other effectively. And one of the things I keep on seeing about this right now has to do, I remember how I mentioned the trepidation that some of these new partnerships are having as it relates to the authenticity of the manifestation goal that they're bringing towards one another. I keep on hearing like these are energies that it's not the energy that wants to be energetically cautious, but these are energies who've been burned before by those that, I keep wondering, these are energies that have been burned before by those whose words didn't match their action, right? So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, even in the space by which they're approaching each other cautiously, there is that hope of building into something energetically beautiful. For the energy that's coming into divine union right now, this is more of the space of effectively saying to each other with the granularity. It's not that they were keeping details. It's not that they were keeping details from one another. They were sparing each other details, right? It's the space by which I keep on saying it's hard to talk about something. That's why I see the energy. Like I told you, it feels like a solar plexus opening, because they're like, I'm finally ready to tell you the full depth of something that I went through. While for the energy that is coming into divine union, like these are the energies that are working through the frustration in navigating the irony. Like they're going through an ironic situation, because the irony of being able to see something that they know exactly what is happening, but not being able to say anything about it because they remember a time that they themselves felt it, and they know that anything that one says isn't going to make something better, might potentially make it worse. This is a lot of the energy that is working on like resolving that. So I keep on hearing like the space by which we work, like the space by which we work through granularity is by resolving, which is the space by which, again, we articulate upon what it is that we hope to do better, that allows the possibility of something getting done. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving these messages. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, so I'd encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class. on the moon card. I mean, on the not on the moon card, not yet. On the star card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, October 13th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the moon card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head on over to my stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I will do my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to having our class. But if you wanted to catch up, now's a great time to join, because you'll have a whole month to be able to watch any of those classes you might want to watch. You can also reach out to me and the other students in a one-on-one chat that you'll have access to. I also want to let you guys know that if you become a founding member, not only will you receive a discount on the whole year's worth of classes, you will also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library class archive. That is access to over 19 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. Now, as I mentioned, it's not necessary to catch up. It's a great time to join if you want to. And you'll also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage moving towards your tarot goals going forward. One of the things I try to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also be notified as to any giveaways and any you'll also have access to my Mystic Meditation articles, which will give you an update on everything we've experienced in the cards. I just released one recently on that new moon energy. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for these reasons. That those classes are focused on and catered to each individual's journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my students seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to offer dream interpretation readings now, which can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.